nuevos amigos. Soy señorita García. ¿Cómo están hoy? ¿Están muy bien? Me alegro. What was that? Did you hear that, nuevos amigos? Who could that be? I see it. It's a loro, a parrot. Did you know that loro is parrot? Let's say it together. El loro. El loro. Muy bien, amigos. In this lesson of Nuevos Amigos, we will be learning about some of the different types of birds that you would find in a rainforest, el bosque tropical. A small bird in Spanish is pájaro. El pájaro. El pájaro. Say it with me. El pájaro. A large bird is la ave. La ave. Say it with me. Let's say it together. La ave. Muy bien. The verb for the day will be escuchar. Say it with me, nuevos amigos. Escuchar. Escuchar in Spanish means to listen. We will also learn about the country of Costa Rica. Let's go to Juanita with a question of the day.
What do you call a scientist who studies birds? Buena suerte!
Okay, nuevos amigos, make sure you write down the question and listen to the answer throughout this lesson. Let's take a moment to listen to this poem about the bird. Pay close attention and see if you can recognize any of the words in the poem. Pajarito, pajarito, estás en tu arbolito. Pajarito, pajarito, ¿eres grande o chiquito? Pajarito, pajarito, eres muy bonito. Eres de rojo, eres de azul. Eres muy bonito. Cucurucucú. What words did you recognize? Pajarito? Pajarito is little bird. How about grande? Grande is big. Chiquito is small. Did you hear the different colors? Rojo y azul? You're right, red and blue. Muy bien. Great job, nuevos amigos.
Hola, nuevos amigos. I'm here to bring you the verb for the day. The verb for today is escuchar, to listen. Say it with me. Escuchar. Let's use escuchar in a sentence. Voy a escuchar al quetzal cantar su canción bella. I'm going to listen to the quetzal sing its beautiful song. Let's say it together in Spanish. Voy a escuchar al quetzal cantar su canción bella. Fantástico, nuevos amigos. Before we move on, let's sing our theme song using our verb escuchar.
Voy a escuchar al quetzal cantar su canción bella y así aprendo más y más y más y más. Ulala, ulala, y así aprendo más. Birds are the only animals in the world that have feathers. They also lay eggs, breathe air, and keep their body temperature the same all the time. This would make the birds warm-blooded animals. Birds developed or evolved from reptiles about 150 million years ago. Most birds can fly. Some birds, such as penguins and ostriches, cannot fly. Instead, they run and swim very fast. Birds also use a lot of energy while flying and need to eat a lot of food to power their flight. Flying birds' wings are shaped to provide lift, allowing them to fly. These lightweight animals have adapted to their environment by flying, which makes them efficient hunters, lets them escape from hungry predators like cats, and takes them away from harsh weather. That's migration. A bird has a bony skeleton inside its body to support and protect delicate organs, such as its heart, lungs, and brain. But the whole skeleton of flying birds is very light, and the long bones in their wings and legs are hollow, with a honeycomb of stiff supporting struts. This means they have less weight to lift off the ground and keep up in the air. Wing in Spanish is ala, la ala. Say it with me, la ala. Muy bien. Birds have two wings, so we would say las alas. Say it with me, las alas. Muy bien. Let's talk about the importance of the feathers of a bird. A bird has many feathers. Feather in Spanish is pluma. La pluma. Say it with me, la pluma. Muy bien. Birds have lots of feathers, so it would be plural, more than one. Las plumas. Say it with me, repite conmigo, las plumas. Excelente. Even a small bird, such as a wren, has more than 1,000 feathers. There are 3 main types of feathers: flight feathers on the wing and tail, body feathers to cover the body and give the bird its shape, and fluffy down feathers to keep it warm. Flight feathers are made of strands called barbs that hook together. If the hooks come apart, they can be drawn together again, like zipping up. Each year, a bird sheds or molts most of its old feathers and grows new ones to replace them. Wow, isn't that interesting? Let's take a look at our first fun fact.
Fact: the ostrich lays the largest bird's eggs, which are up to 4.5 by 7 inches across and weigh 3 pounds. Hecho, el avestruz pone los huevos más grandes de todos los pájaros, miden hasta 4.5 por 7 pulgadas y pesan 3 libras.
Wow, Nuevos Amigos, that's a pretty big egg. Egg is huevo, el huevo. Muy bien. The ostrich is the largest bird and is also the fastest 2-legged runner of all the animals on earth. Another bird that lives in the rainforest, it's a quetzal. Quetzal in Spanish is quetzal. Let's say it together, el quetzal. Quetzal are colorful birds. They are bright green with yellow beaks. Who can tell me what green is in Spanish? Verde is correct. Es correcto. What about yellow? Yellow is amarillo. Amarillo. Remember that double L has that Y sound. Amarillo. Muy bien. The male quetzals have bright red stomachs. Red is rojo. Rojo. They also have long green tail feathers. The female quetzals have gray stomachs and short tails. Gray is gris. Say it with me. Gris. Quetzal's green color helps keep them camouflaged among the leaves of the canopy. Quetzals eat more than 40 different types of fruit. They also eat insects, frogs, snails, small lizards, and other meat. Quetzals are important to the rainforest, el bosque tropical, because they help some plants to grow. They do this by spreading the seeds of the plants that they eat to new places. Scientists think that quetzals live for 15 to 20 years.
Fact: the bee hummingbird is the world's tiniest bird, which averages 2 inches long. Hecho, el colibrí de abeja es el pájaro más pequeño del mundo y mide un promedio de 2 pulgadas de largo.
Birds are very beautiful and interesting. A scientist who studies birds is known as an ornithologist. Let's go over some of the parts of a bird. We learned that las alas are the wings. We also learned that the feathers are las plumas. Now let's learn about the claws. Claws in Spanish are garras. Las garras. Say it with me. Las garras. And remember that double R has that trilling sound. Garras. Muy bien. Depending on the type of bird, claws are used for many different purposes. For instance, eagles and other birds of prey have sharp, curved talons on their feet for holding and tearing meat. Eagle in Spanish is águila. El águila. Let's say it together. El águila. Other birds use their claws for climbing tree trunks. A hummingbird is also found in the rainforest. El picaflor. Say it with me. El picaflor. Hummingbirds, named for the humming sound made by the rapid beating of the wings, are more agile in the air than any other birds. They can hover in front of flowers as they feed, wings moving so fast that they're almost invisible. They can fly upward, sideways, downward, and even backward. Flower nectar is the main food of hummingbirds. Most have long beaks, which they plunge deep into flowers to extract the nectar. Beak in Spanish is pico. El pico. Say it with me. El pico. A toucan is another colorful bird we would find in a tropical rainforest. And in Spanish you would say el tucán. El tucán. Let's say it together. El tucán. Toucans have colorful feathers and large banana-shaped beaks called bills. Toucans travel around the rainforest with other toucans. A group of toucans is called a flock. There are also usually between 4 and 12 toucans in a flock. They sleep and eat and even play together.
Fact: a toucan's bill can be as large as its body. Hecho: el pico del tucán podrá crecer hasta el mismo tamaño de su cuerpo.
Wasn't that great information about birds? Let's listen to what our special guest has to say about the birds found in the rainforest.
Hola, my name is Chuck Siegel. I'm Deputy Director for the Dallas Zoo and the Dallas Aquarium. We're going to talk about some birds from the Central American rainforest today. The Harpy eagle is the most powerful eagle in the world. Harpy eagles have a wingspan of around 5 to 6 feet, and they can weigh 12 to 13 pounds. What makes the Harpy eagle really unique is it has a very powerful beak, a big hooked beak, and also its legs are very thick and its claws are actually as big as bear claws. And as big and powerful as the Harpy eagle behind me is, the female, this is a male, the female is even bigger. She's around 1/3 bigger than he is, and they eat big monkeys and sloths. They'll nest right at the top of tall rainforest trees, 100 to 150 feet high up in the air in the rainforest canopy. And then when they'll have 2 to 3 babies, which will take around a month to hatch. And when they feed them, they fly throughout the trees of the rainforest, capturing monkeys, sloths, and then flying them back to the nest where they will then feed them to the chicks. Harpy eagles are beautiful animals, but they're endangered in Central America, mainly due to rainforest destruction and also because of some hunting. But they're being protected now, and there are a lot of zoos and aquariums that are working to breed Harpy eagles and reintroduce them into their native home. And that's all we have for you today. From the Dallas Zoo, we want to thank you and hope you come and visit us. Adios.
Muchas gracias por esa información excelente. Thank you for that excellent information. Before we learn about the country of Costa Rica, let's go ahead and sing our rap song about the Central American countries.
Centroamérica. Panamá, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Costa Rica. Centroamérica. Panamá, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Costa Rica. Centroamérica.
It's time for the cultural lesson on one of the Central American countries. The Central American country we will be learning about today is Costa Rica. I just love learning about the Central American countries. Costa Rica is a tiny country in Central America. It is only about the size of New Hampshire. Nicaragua is on the north and Panama is on the southeast. Costa Rica is like a bridge between the two. The Caribbean Sea is on the northern coast of Costa Rica. The Pacific Ocean is on the western and southwestern shores. Costa Rica means rich coast. Its capital is San Jose. It has 100 volcanoes and 7 of them are active. Some scenes in the movie Jurassic Park were filmed in the tropical rainforest of Costa Rica. The currency of Costa Rica is the colón, and the 5 colón note is perhaps the most colorful money in Latin America. It is named after Christopher Columbus, or in Spanish that is Cristóbal Colón. The flag is red, white, and blue. The coat of arms depicts the isthmus between the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. The stars stand for the 7 provinces, and the Central American Union is commemorated by having América Central written on the upper scroll. Spanish is the official language of Costa Rica. A native from Costa Rica is called a costarricense. Costa Ricans have nicknamed themselves ticos. The ancestors or the people living in Costa Rica may have come from all over, but no matter what background they have, they are proud to be called ticos. Costa Rica holds the highest literacy rate among the Latin American countries. Painted cards pulled by ox have become one of their famous art forms. Costa Ricans love color, and they try to include it in their everyday life. Beautiful birds and animals live in Costa Rican's rainforests. Toucans, parrots, and the quetzal are all found there. Costa Rica has more than 30 national parks. Visitors to these protected areas can learn about growing plants, rumbling volcanoes, or flying insects. I would love to visit Costa Rica and all of the other countries that we've learned about. And remember, when you take care of your world, you also take care of yourself. Let's save the rainforest.
The question of the day was, what do you call a scientist who studies birds? A scientist who studies birds is called an ornithologist. Did you guess correctly, Nuevos Amigos? Great!
Maravilloso! Okay, Nuevos Amigos, it's journal time. Let's take out your Spanish journals and write the words we've learned today. Rojo, rojo. Verde, verde. Azul, azul. Gris, gris. El huevo, el huevo. And remember, it has a silent H. El pájaro, el pájaro. El quetzal, el quetzal. El tucán, el tucán. La pica flor, la pica flor. El loro, el loro. El águila, el águila. El pico, el pico. Las alas, las alas. Las plumas, las plumas. Las garras, las garras. Thank you for writing in your Spanish journal. Gracias, Nuevos Amigos. You've done a great job today. Han hecho un trabajo fantástico. Keep your Spanish journal at your side for each lesson of Nuevos Amigos. Be sure to put these words on your word wall in your classroom. The verb for the day was escuchar. And the sentence using the verb was, voy a escuchar al quetzal cantar su canción bella. We reviewed the colors, rojo, verde, azul, and gris. We learned el huevo and some birds that we would find in the rainforest, such as el pájaro, el quetzal, el tucán, la picaflor, el loro, el águila, and the parts of a bird, el pico, las alas, las plumas, y las garras. You've done a wonderful job, Nuevos Amigos. I hope you have learned a lot of information on the many different types of birds of the rainforest. Remember, Nuevos Amigos, if you find any new interesting information on birds or the rainforest, I'd like to hear from you. Have your teacher email me. Mándame un correo electrónico. The address is nuevosamigos@dallasisd.org. Remember, Nuevos Amigos, when you learn to speak another language, you also make new friends. Acuérdense, cuando aprendemos más de un idioma, podemos hacer nuevos amigos. Adiós.